Artist Network. We are just a volunteer group of writers, poets, jewelry makers, visual artists. Did I leave off anything? Candle makers. I'm sorry, I did. I knew I would forget something. So we just all come together and try to inspire each other, and also we want to ensure that we are part of the narrative about North St. Louis County. So that is why we did the book. We've been meeting for 10 years, believe it or not, with no officers. We just set a time and we get together and we create, we support each other, and we sometimes critique each other, that's a part of it. And we just support each other. So I want to thank you tonight for joining us. Those of you who are either who will see this on video later or live. We're going to start tonight with Pat Merritt, and following Pat will be Rosalind and Kim. So please welcome Pat Merritt.
For the SIUE East St. Louis Center covering media relations. And so I'm writing press releases all the time, and I like to lean towards the creative, and I'm happy to be joined with the North County Writers Club because it allows me to do some creative writing. I started writing at an early age, keeping journals, because I've always been a quiet, introspective person, and I like to put my thoughts down on paper and express myself that way. And I discovered that I enjoyed writing and creating various stories and ideas. And so now I'd like to read you a piece from the book, and it's called Friends at the Cross. Maybe you heard the sobbing, the whimpering, the constant moaning, or maybe you spotted the blood trail along the dark, twisted path. Perhaps you sensed nails ripping through veins, searing through tissue in wrists and feet, or smelled bruised, stripped flesh after years of hanging in suspension. I don't know what I did to draw you, but I'm glad you stayed. Having friends at the cross has been more than precious. And so I will always. You prayed, cried, travailed with me. You didn't rush to take me down, for you knew the cost of receiving a crown. And so you remained until the end, my strong, loving Calvary friends. Thank you. Another piece I'd like to read is a series of Kwan Sabas, and the Kwan Saba was by the Redmond Writers Club. Redmond Writers Club is named after Professor Eugene B. Redmond from East St. Louis. He's the East St. Louis Poet Laureate. He's a SIUE Professor Emeritus in English. He's a well-known author, editor, and so a Kwan Saba, the club created this poetic device. A Kwan Saba is a 7-line poem. On each line, there are 7 words, and no one word can be more than 7 letters. That's a Kwan Saba. So this is a series of Kwan Sabas. It's called The Enduring African Woman. Been my great-great-grandmother, man lashed into her back, who wore a frayed cotton dress that nursed 15 babies. Love sired 4. Others came from rape. She survived. Later, praying, Jesus, keep my soul babies alive. Loving her young came easy. Feeling Mister's vulgar breath on bruised neck almost ravaged her mind. He bowed to demonic will that drug her grandma here, used Minta's wound like a toilet, made himself supreme, and then abused holy canon to demote black lineage from humankind to mere beast. She might have been my great-grandmother, gasping as bloated head of her husband dangled from a magnolia tree. She doesn't wither away, but takes their son, carves into him ebony passion and pride, crucial keys helping to sustain the souls of black folk, Du Bois. Postscript. Against the canvas of slavery is a mighty female host, and blackberry, coffee, caramel, cream. Many were capable, but only dared dream, while others did achieve. When time recalls their lives, I beseech you, rise, applaud the durable, valiant dignity, power, beauty found in the enduring African woman. Thank you.
I think it's good. Yeah. I know I'm shorter. And pardon me, I am kind of getting over a sinus infection, so that's why you hear the rattle. But I am Rosalind Phillips Gillespie. I'm not a writer by trade. I'm actually a paralegal, which is probably it's probably a and you say, how did you? Well, way back a while ago, like yesterday, in my 20s, I had an idea that I wanted to be a writer. And at that time, I was attending UMSL, and I was trying to get into their MFA program. I did not at that time. And I thought, okay, I'll do something else. You know, I went into fundraising for a few, and I've been in the legal business, as I said, for about 17, almost 18 years now. But something kept drawing me back to wanting to write. Now, how I got to poetry is even a stranger journey. I did not like poetry in high school. I did not get it. But I do junior year. I actually studied abroad in England for a semester, and there was a professor there that was teaching English, and he introduced me to the works of William Wordsworth. And I fell in love with it. And it stuck with me. And about 7 or 8 years ago, all of a sudden, these poems started to come out of me. And what I'm going to read now, probably one of the first ones that I had written. And inspiration behind this. As you all know, in 2014, there was a young man named Michael Brown. And at the time that the verdict was read for the police officer who, you know, killed the gentleman, I actually was at home on my couch recovering. I'd had some major surgery. And I remember there's a wide range of emotions that went through me when I watched all of this going down. I mean, I guess I kind of knew what the verdict was going to be. I was hoping it wasn't going to be that. And then, you know, all of that exploded. And I was by myself. My husband at the time was at work, and I was by myself. And it took a few years, but this eventually came out. And this one's called 1,000 Shards of Glass. He sits in the corner of the cage, not aware of his strength. They had to teach him that. But then they feared it. But aren't you to blame? Later, you punished him. His crime, too much fire, too much wind, too much free. And it scared you, like their voices did, or their bended knee. They empathize. They really do. The question is, do you? You see, I don't have to be you to know you. I know that giving in feels like giving up. I empathize. I really do. The question is, do you? And I say I empathize because I can go back behind your mind and see it from your side and understand the fear. He understands the fear. They understand the fear because he, I, and they have it every day. But he, they, and I just want to add, not subtract from the bottom line. They say 1,000 shards of glass are coming, and we are ready to let them free. We've lined up at the station, and we will march on every piece and let the blood run beneath our feet, and we'll take the hit for the sake of matter. Can we take all of that? Certainly. For you see, we empathized. But your answer was, you didn't. And this next one I'm going to read is a little bit more upbeat. This one, the inspiration for this, I had a friend, a work friend at one time, who, this lady had a knack for seeing the beauty in everything. You know, rainy, cloudy day, she thought it was beautiful. I was, at that time, very, very pessimistic and just didn't understand it. And once she threw this dinner party at her house, her apartment, she lived in a loft apartment downtown, had floor-to-ceiling windows, and it was overcast that day. But her apartment was absolutely beautiful. She had the windows open, she had So I turned now to my friend, watching her as she warbled. I spoke to my inside self. The best days are raining. The best days are raining.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
My name is Kimberly Moore. Excuse me if I have a little stir. This light is killing my eye right here. Let me go this side. So, thank you very much. Yeah, but now I can't see the word. Like, so, right. Gotta have a light. So, again, my name is Kim Moore. I'm from Springfield, Illinois, but I'm still part of the North County because I'm North County. I am Marie's cousin, so that's how I'm by proxy the North County writers in this. See, she down there clowning. But she, how I got in poetry is my cousin when I was 15. I've been around my whole life. So she was like, oh yeah, you're gonna come on. And that's how I got into poetry. I've been hanging with her with poetry scene here in St. Louis forever, since I was 18. And I was old enough to drive down here by myself, and I could take my own car and do my own thing. And I'm going to see Marie. And my parents were like, okay. And that's how I got there. So, that's how I also know Floyd Boykin Jr. right there. I wrote because it's supposed to be about North County. So North County has been my kind of grow up situation for me from 18, and now I'm 53. So I'll have a lot of experiences for North County. So this is this piece, okay. If I can read this piece. A lot of things has happened to me over these years for this piece. So if you bear with me with my speech, okay. These from a few, I'm sorry. These few square miles from a few miles down the road, I-55 from her every day, up there from Springfield, has brought so much into her being who she is. These few square miles over so many years have shaped the her that is she, the she that is her. From loves was and lost, loves she thought she had, found loves unrequited, love still yearning, had never revealing, loves built into forever friendships, loves forbidden, loves hidden. These few square miles were where laughter, friendships, and family bonds have grown, tightened, become inseparable over kitchen tables, living room couches, restaurants, Pier 1, and Schnucks. The parties, baby. Square miles from the new and the old Halls Ferry to Lindbergh to I-270 and DJ Nick. I don't know if y'all know DJ Nick. Some of y'all might know DJ Nick. Wingstop and fries. The first taste of those delectable flavors to the scrumptious taste of Delio's Cafe. The skins and bones of cold peppers. I miss cold peppers, y'all. I miss cold peppers. And a date at the Thai place. The many nights spent on the couch talking to her cousin, who understands her the most, knows her craziest and most secret moments. These few smiles changed her life and made her into she into her. Sorry. These few square miles were the nexus for all the poetry that will come. She branches out from these few square miles, then right back to North County until it's time to head back home further north until the next adventure in those few square miles. My other piece, and like I said, a lot of stuff has happened to me for over these years. One being a major thing is the artery tore in my brain, and it left me where I was not able to walk or talk or eat or move or anything, and I had to learn how to do everything all over again. And I have this lovely she, her. And so I had to, this book means a lot to me because I wrote this after I learned how to do all of that over again. So this book, that poem, came birth after I have to learn how to write, learn how to write, learn how to type, learn how to do everything all over again. So this book, for people to understand that it means everything to me, that my cousin asked me to be a part of this, and I wrote that poem to think about, she was, this reminded me to take my medicine. It was like, okay. So for me to be able to be a part of this project and be able to write that experience of how North County changed my life and be able to put it on paper is mean everything to me. So then, wait. Hold on, I'm sorry. I lost the page. Okay, here we go. Heart rhythm. And I want to dedicate this because Floyd doesn't know I wrote this. I wrote this a long time ago. And I wanted to read it because you didn't know I wrote it, but I did read it. And then it was a long time ago, and it literally wrote it about you. So. And in 2023, and after everything I've been through, you have to be truthful. You know, don't be mucking around and stuff like that. Drum I hear sound familiar. The rhythm, the sound, it comes from deep within. Rhythmically seeking to tell my heart's story. The sounds beat quicker than the African beats of the motherland, intensely growing to explosive rhythms. Loud as the beat of running feet, running so fast a collision is inevitable, colliding into the walls built as though they can keep the rhythmic sounds of heart stories at bay. On and on the running goes. Stop running, breathe, feel, listen to your heart, hear the rhythm, the symphonic you, the melodic me, beating into a state of frenzy. It seems that you're gaining ground, but in reality, you are losing the beat that keeps you in time, on time, through time, with time. Tempos rise as the verse consumes thoughts that resonate. Thoughts that the resistance to persistence intensifies the sensual rhythmic beat, symphonic you merging with melodic me, creating rhythms of adoration, inspiration, and supplication.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Thomasina Clark, writer, actress, director, singer, poet. That's why I'm here. But my newfound fame is fashion. So hopefully before I leave, you'll come and check out some of my pictures on my phone, because I can't get away. So this poem back in the 70s, yeah, I'm that old, and back in the 70s there was an area, Sarah and Washington, it was the Stroll, it was the drug neighborhood, it was a right down bad kind of area. So this poem is called Diamonds Cry. There's a section of this city where life is pretty, where men abound catching women on the rebound, where the stench of strong drink lingers round, where shoot up, shot up, and cut up are present, and even the pigeon has a Jones. Get rid of that chick, baby. Come on back for me. Buy me a drink, man. I ain't had one street. Golly, man, just let me be. And the pigeon says, oh. But the cries of injustice rise high from the streets. Who, me, baby? What I do? Come on. Come on. What I do? And the pigeon goes, oh. Cry. This poem is, Stranger Fruit. I started writing, it's only a 3-verse poem. I started writing this poem in the 90s, and every time I read it, I change it. I have to change a word because it's like, no, this word fits better. So it's still a work in progress. Stranger Fruit, but before we go there. Southern trees bear a strange fruit, blood on the leaves, blood at the root, black bodies swinging from the southern trees, strange fruit hanging from the poplar tree, stranger fruit. Ghetto trees bear stranger fruit. You see, flowers die quickly from death to their roots. Poison was fed to these young plants at birth. They're wanting to flourish, but they're dying of thirst, and they hunger for knowledge as to how they should grow. But the gardeners tending them often don't know. Now, those tending at times are nowhere to be found, or they're casting their seed into unprepared ground. Instead of love making ready the soil, the process becomes a laborious toil. Now, these unknowledgeable gardeners take no time with their plants, so true growth, it doesn't even stand a chance. You know, plants need their gardeners in order to thrive, so how else is it thrive but survive they do in this tumultuous world, and their vibrant colors all tend to swirl, creating a color that's dismal at best. This little plant is tired and it knows it must rest, but there's no rest for the weary. I said this little plant's tired. It knows it will grow and has great desire to be something wonderful, but not knowing how, its lot is a litter garden. No progress, no how. Thank you.
Wow, Thomasina. Whew. She lights it up every time, y'all. I am one of the co-founders of North County Writing and Artist Network, but the code to the founder is also here. So, Miss Tony, would you stand up and wave? I can assure you I would not have been doing this for 10 years without her. I've probably quit, every 3 months? And I quit, and then she says, yeah, I thought of this. I have an idea about this. And this is where we are. I'm going to do just a couple of pieces. I'll do one from the book. Rosalind mentioned 2014 earlier, and the profound and lasting impact that it has had, still having, on our community. And so I'll do a piece called 2014, and then a piece that I'm still working on called A Tale of Two. I'm still working on it. Yes, I am, Tony. I've been here before, down through the ages, at this place, this stage, on the threshold of justice's door, praying, marching, shouting, knock, knock, knocking, waiting and waiting, knee-deep, then waist-high through the tears of the mothers, knowing there will be others. Praying, marching, shouting, I have been here before, on the threshold of justice's door, half a century ago in Selma, Oxford, Birmingham, choking down indescribable pain and rage. I gasped for air, then dialed 911 to resuscitate justice in New York, in Sanford, in Ferguson. The call is unanswered. Mother, not even the tears of the mother, not bring them back. There is no protection for driving while black, walking while black, or just being black in America. And I can't breathe knowing there will be others like Schwerner, Cheney, Goodman, Emmett, Medgar, Martin, Trayvon, Michael, Eric, who become casualties of war and liberty and justice for some. I have been here before. And the young ones say we must drop kick the door, hands up and hearts aflame. Hold on to justice like nimble striped clouds hold rain, vowing never to visit this hateful place again. Thank you. Thomasina talked earlier about change. I think every time I workshop this piece, it ends up being a little different. So I'm not quite sure it'll be when I try to read it tonight. but and it just talks about the difference that 5 miles or 10 miles can make if you're in St. Louis, depending on what your zip code is in those, in between those 5 or 10 miles. Amy Hunter has a TED Talk on YouTube. If you haven't seen it, it's called Lucky Zip Codes. And she goes into detail about that. A Tale of Two. It's the best of times, it's the worst of times. North side, south side, Delmar divide. No coast strong, Mike Brown gone in broad daylight, without conscience or consequence, but not without an uprising and fight. Oppressive traffic fines, Lady Justice is blind. Marching feet mark time to the cadence of the Show Me Sound drumline. Metro bus and link to politicians' promises of employment and inclusion, but it's an illusion. Veil profits to keep St. Louis a real-life tale of two, or 92 communities if you're counting, of have and have-nots. Forest Park, Southeast Chesterfield, the Ville, 300 a year dead, and half of you won't shed a tear because you angels in all the mega churches, mosques, temples, synagogues, and cathedrals to mend the mega complexities of this house divided. It will take all of us to declare is enough. It's the best of times, it's the worst of times. North side, south side, Delmar divide. Your very life may depend on where you reside. Thank you.
How y'all doing? I am Shakita Anderson, also known as Shy the Poet. I have been writing for, I believe, since I was about 17, I believe. And I've only been performing for like the last, so I'm still fairly new to performing. I'm gonna read a piece out of the book. I'm gonna read the other one. So this one is called PTSD. I was yesterday, running from my today, while visualizing your future that was never for me. See, my journey has been incomplete, because selfishly I passed the torch to who? Writing this book, thinking I was free, crying on my knees, screaming, why me? I am not my tomorrow. Emotionally scared, looking at the writing on the walls that says real people are perfect and perfect people are real. Phone call, mentally I ain't me. But set me free from these feelings called you ain't ish. Bet you didn't see that coming.
See, I am not my tomorrow. PTSD has me stuck in my yesterday, personally tired while still being depressed, which for most means you're crazy. But for me, I ask, please treat stress delicately. Chronologically, I'm angry, bruised, cramped, damaged, gazed, helpless, injured, king, lost, miserable, nicked, open wounds, pitiful, queered, raged, suffering, traumatized, unhappy, violated, weakened, Xanax, yammered. But I am zero. I am nothing. I have nothing. I am lost. But I am not my tomorrow. Today, I am my self-esteem, leaving my tears in the yesterday I was because my tomorrow has God in it. And that's that piece. And I'm an author, an entrepreneur, a mother. I believe anything you name it, I will call myself that. So, this next piece I'm gonna read. Miss Tony liked it, and she actually gave me the title to it, coming out of there, finished it, and so I'm gonna allow her to hear the finished piece of it. It was the thought for me, sitting in my room across from myself, telling she that it would be okay. Sweet sounds of thunder played in silence. Depression was doing a number on me. It had me stuck in different positions I had never tried before, like upside down in debt, head over heels for suicide, tripped over spoiled kids. I tooted my up trying to cover up so many tears. Lost in today, my fears took the high road, hiked up my back and covered me, shielded me and told me it had me because change was too risky. See, perfection is what I thought I was, and my reality said, please. You have the audacity to feel complete when your flaws and imperfections should humble you. Lost in myself, I forgot to love me. Too busy trying to fit in, giving me in all the wrong ways. No one noticed that I was hurting myself. August 21st, he spoke. Told me that I was wrong. Said that feelings and faith don't mix. James said, confess your faults one to another. So I prayed 5 times for another, but it took me 16 downfalls so that ye may be healed. He said, baby, I love you, but you got to get out your own way. But when you feel out of place, where do you start? I tend to forget about the happy moments that make me the happiest. Fresh is when you step outside of self, leaving pieces of trauma, drama, and the rest for him to move. I heard him say that grief was my math teacher, so I started counting. 0 is how I feel. 1, thought of taking myself away. 2, parents contributing to my heartbreak. 3, failed relationships. 4, please don't look at me. 5, beautiful children. 6 times I dropped to my knees, and on the 7th day I rose crying, Lord, please. He gave me multiple businesses. The assignment was always complete by adding in praise, subtracting dead weight, heartbreak, while multiple people have been dying. I had to learn to live with life with shattered pieces, because with many testimonies, I was able to leave God's mark in places I never wanted to be. Selfless, you must call me. But my happiest moments are filled with him, our God. And that's that piece.
Okay. Oh, what's, I was about to say, yeah, so I'm Artemis. I really had everything planned when I was back there. I'm not. I talk a lot, but so yeah, I do poetry. Yeah, said that. I also host a show called Pin Up or Shut Up Battle Poetry, where poets are able to come on there and do their thing, perform for judges and audience, and get scored and all that good jazz. I'm talking a lot. I don't have nothing to say, but yeah, here go the poetry. Okay. Can I move this? Yes. Yeah? Yeah, okay. Someone. Sorry for the anticipation. Okay, all right, here we go. Here it is. Power, something my people have little of. Freedom. They are too ignorant to receive freely, believing everything comes with a price or a struggle. Nothing is ever handed to them for free. Gotta pull yourself up by the bootstraps, but forgetting Tim's don't come with no bootstraps. Hey, I'm not your trending type. Make up my hustle. I'm too authentic. Running Harriet Martin Malcolm with rifle, peace, and history on our back. I ain't talking talk. I'm slinging facts at you. I'm nobody's porch monkey. I can't sit still. Badge or pipeline, they got a system to catch me, so I gotta keep running. Hurdling over dead bodies that resemble high school classmates. Traded essays became our eulogy. The streets tested our testimony. For our obituary, it was just picture day, my guy. Hustler. You will never see a U-Haul trailing behind a hearse, so you can't take it with you. You might as well travel pocket light. I'm talking hood heavy. Eyes forward, no looking back. Feet don't fail me now. Because I'm still found guilty walking or running on the wrong side of the street of Ahmaud Arbery. When justice is in the white hands and change reminds you of Tulsa, Oklahoma bombings, and you remember we were Rosewood before we were concrete roses, where we hold the block down, coffin tight, better than our promises, keeping quiet, hoping police don't bust into our house, killing us by mistake or on purpose, and all they got to say is wrong person, wrong place. When you've proven it's not safe outside or in the house, how do you expect me to pull myself up by the bootstraps when I ain't got time to tie them or a safe place to put them on my feet? You probably would rather me hang myself off this tree on the side of these Timbs you selling me. Swag like strange fruit. Cologne smell like black bodies blowing in the southern breeze. Realize that the celebration for this life, which feels like a marathon, only to be translated by a dash on my tombstone, keeping me in the field in life and in death. They trying to brand my halo. I'm not paying attention to their symbols. But I'm not your Rodney King hashtag remember what they did to me. I mean us, all for one and one for not. When we are being trampled by the same boots with laces in them, how do you expect us to get back up? Power. Something my people are starting to understand. Freedom, they are still too ignorant to receive freely. Believing everything comes with a price or a struggle. Nothing is ever handed to you for free. Gotta pull yourself up by the bootstraps of forgetting Tim's don't come in no bootstraps. So I ask you, where is Harriet, Martin, and Malcolm's Tim? Yeah, all right. Warmed up, cool. So yeah, actually wrote that piece just more so on the tip of some things must be heard. And so just, hey, for the community, for the black community of North County, it was just more so, hey, I think we all should just wake up to something. I know we're big fashion people, but some things must be heard. Shout out to my friend T Spirit for that line right there. Yeah, this actual next poem is not in the book. That's okay, cool. I just wanted to give it some life, that's all. So if that's cool, say cool. All right, cool. All right, so yeah. Silent, like echoes of falling halos crashing against the pavement. Can you hear it? The beatboxing underneath the gravel against wooden, drumline on lunch tables, the graveyard. Be battle of the bands loud, can you hear it? The auditioning for God's attention, trying to get into heaven on scholarship, a GED of symphonies and an orchestra of high school diplomas. It sounds like the graduation party dropped out the sky and landed in her womb. Can you feel the spirit of music moving through you? The sound of pregnancy, the acceptance of a miscarriage, the relief in rejection re-injecting back into you, rewinding back moments where our lips forgot the words to, where your lips forgot the words to music, rejoicing so loud that our pain was mistaken for pleasure, that our moans had different meanings. Like if these walls could talk, they'd scream, who vandalized the property, throwing tombstones and corpses through the windows of our souls. These eyes have seen two abortions, 5 miscarriages, and 3 women turned hollow within minutes. Sex, field trips unchaperoned oftentimes reminds me of survivor's guilt. Like, how can I say I want you here, but still I pull out? Like a parent trying to delay a blessing at a bus route. I'm as much to blame as I say God is. How dare I point the finger when there's 3 to point back? These 3 women have been the constant reminder of just because you get an A for effort doesn't mean you fully understood the assignment, that sometimes one person's presence can affect the whole room when they're absent. That when your chest starts to feel like a locker room storage space of emotions, poetry, and ultrasound baby pictures of my unborn daughter, Amara. I've prayed, unprayed, and prayed again for you. I've cursed and fought with God on top of mountaintops. I've survived all 60 minutes of my hours, and I've backed my traumas, and I vowed to always fight and continue to fight for you, like a student down back at the pepper.
Beautiful Libra child, just like our mother, your life was short-lived, but you were here. Not even given a name, your frame was underdeveloped. All I could see are our mother's eyes as you cried only to die moments later, 2 hours and 47 minutes, and immature fetus. Or heart beating, never mentioned to me at least. You existed 7 years before I even was a thought. You existed, therefore the love I have in my heart is extended to you, big sister. I've been thinking about what if. What if you had survived? I've cried for you, big sister, because you died trying to live. I cried knowing that what happened to you more than likely fed our mother's depression. You now appear in my dreams. It's like we are building this relationship that we were robbed from. I can only imagine the fiery personality that you would have had. I may have been our mother's miracle baby, but you were her firstborn. How can you love someone you never had the opportunity to meet? It's hard to explain, but knowing about you ignited life within me. My heart beats for both of us now. I cry for you, big sister. I'm not sure what actually happened that may have caused your demise, but I have my theories, and I hate the sight of your biological father's name. I hate what he did to our mother. He robbed us from the full experience. Abusive. That's all I can say. There is no way I can know about you and not celebrate you. 2 hours and 47 minutes, you died trying to live. 2 hours and 47 minutes, our mother's blood ran through you. We share DNA. 2 hours and 47 minutes, I stare at your death certificate and I shed tears because you were here. Your existence was muted, never mentioned, erased from our family tree, only to be reinserted into the timeline. You were here, and your place on this earth is solid with me, and I acknowledge you. You are part of our mother's bloodline. We are connected. 2 hours and 47 minutes. 2 hours and 47 minutes. You died trying to live. Therefore, I love you, big sister. I love you. 2 hours and 47 minutes. Woo. Yeah. This next piece here, which is not in the book, before I get this little disclaimer here, I believe in love. Love is beautiful. This is not what this piece is about. Okay? And when I'm done, just know that I'm okay. Love made me free. Love made me free. Love made me free. Love made me free. You see, I've given up on love. Although love has taught me many things, it has taught me how to be free. It has taught me how to be me. It is the catalyst of my newfound behavior. Used to think that you were my savior, and I had a vision of what love would be if I would just open my totality to another. And I don't regret the love that I shared, because at one point it paired me up with phenomenal energy. Perhaps being in love is just not meant for me. And yes, I fantasize about a love supreme, having the type of connection that will show the reflection, the blessings, taking the guessing of two progressing hearts, genuine transparency. And apparently it's just not meant for me. And I'm a great human being, but that doesn't guarantee the fantasy. It doesn't guarantee that the one truly meant for me is actually waiting on me. Perhaps that ship sailed to a different dimension, and I'm trapped in this suspended animation, a time warp, an emotional corpse. My heart has so much tragedy. I wonder if I will ever heal completely. And maybe that's my downfall. Maybe that's the last call or the call of all calls. They say that some people are not meant to be happy, that they are meant to be great. But shouldn't happiness and greatness occupy the same space? I don't know. I'm not sure. All I know is that my heart is not in the best of places, and there's traces of loneliness. There's traces of emptiness. There's traces of numbness, dumbness even. I feel that I'm evolving daily, and I owe that to love. I just don't know if I believe in you anymore. You see, love has set me free. Love has set me free. Love has set me free. Love has made me free. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you to Mark and Spine for hosting us tonight, for Rosalind for connecting and organizing, and because I have learned to hustle the St. Louis way, the North County Anthology, Roots, Rainbows, and Truth is available here tonight, purchased from Mark. He has copies on the shelf right now. So thank you all, and to all the poets, would you run up here for a picture with Mark real quick? Alicia, would you take our picture maybe? Thank you.
And may I just say something real quick? As an independent bookstore, we carry exclusively indie authors and publishers. So if there's any of you have books of poetry that you've published and you want to put on our shelves, please do. If you have novels or novellas or anything, chapbooks, whatever you might have that you want to sell, come in. The process is really easy, really simple, and I extend that invite to you.
Awesome.
And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
Come on, guys, y'all take a picture with our host.
And thanks for Rosalind coming out here a year ago and reading her poetry.
Yes, Rob.
That's how we all met. I'm Paul. I'll be in the back.
I can probably do here. Miss Tony, come on.
See, I told you.
Come on. Time
Yeah, come on.
I told you. I told you to come on up here.
Come on.
Grandmother.
Come on. This is why she's in charge, guys. You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Hi.
Cheese.
Yeah.
Okay. Three guys.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
It's a lot of camera angles.
All right. Can't see him in the back.
2, 3.
No, I'm saying, y'all look, 3 cameras.
Yes, I'm sorry. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Hard.